Harriet Tubman and Ella Baker changed the lives of African Americans, but in very different ways. Harriet Tubman fought against slavery in the 19th century, while Ella Baker fought for civil rights in the 20th century. Harriet Tubman worked as a slave on a large plantation and was mistreated in a variety of forms. At one point, she actually got hit in the head with a 2-pound iron that was meant for a runaway slave, and sustained head injury for the rest of her life. At the age of 25, Harriet Tubman decided that she had had enough of slavery and ran away. She later married a man whom she soon left after he threatened to sell her back into slavery. After she left him, she started working with the Underground Railroad, a secret society made with the intention of helping slaves escape. Tubman participated greatly in this society and in her lifetime freed over 400 people. A newspaper from the time said, "She has performed more wonderful deeds by the native power of her own spirit against adverse circumstances than any other. But among the slaves she is universally known by her well-earned title of Moses the Deliverer." She was a very action-based person, probably because she wasn't literate since she was a slave, which meant that she couldn't give speeches or write books or newspaper articles to help raise awareness of slavery. She also had to be very careful when freeing slaves, because if she got caught, she could get sold back into slavery.
Ella Baker was a civil rights activist. She grew up listening to stories of slavery and unjust actions that slaves had to deal with. As soon as she got out of college, she began immersing herself in the cause of social justice, as one newspaper puts it. She worked with many organizations, but perhaps the most important were the STEF and SNCC. The STEF focused on promoting white support for racial justice. SNCC, though, was perhaps Ella Baker's greatest accomplishment. SNCC encouraged college students to take a stand against the unjust actions that blacks were forced to live with. Ella Baker encouraged a nonviolent approach to these dilemmas, often giving speeches or going to rallies with other SNCC members. It was at these rallies that Ella Baker provided the most support, encouraging teenagers to do what they knew was right. She thought that this was very important because she knew that if she wanted to change society, she would need everybody's help to do it. Although these two reformers lived in very different time periods and were trying to fix very different problems, both women were effective in changing society. Harriet Tubman saved many lives, but by raising support for racial justice, Baker did too. The changes that Harriet Tubman made helped pave the way for reformers like Ella Baker. Although both reformers used different methods to get what they want, they both changed society for the better. And thanks to their actions, we can continue their noble work in the never-ending fight for racial justice.